Dan the Natural Man Show. Hey everybody, it's our favorite day, Friday, 3/23. I hope everybody had a good week, and I definitely hope everybody has a good weekend. And speaking of that, today I want to talk about anxiety and some of the herbs that we can take to reduce our feelings of anxiety. I know a lot of us, if not most of us, have anxiety from time to time. But some people can develop an anxiety disorder, and this can be a real drain on your energy and your health. So while there's a lot of things that you can do to rid yourself of anxiety and to bring your stress down, today we're going to talk about some of our herbal allies. And I found a good list, and we're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about 10 herbs that can help with anxiety. Okay? I know a lot of them off the top of my head, but we're going to see what the article starts with here. Sorry. Oh, the article starts with omega-3. They have found now that people that are low in omega-3 tend to have more anxiety and depression. But while I do agree that your body does have to have omega-3 because it is a essential fat. I would not recommend getting it from fish or fish oil because of the contaminants in the fish and the fish oils these days. I would recommend getting your omega-3 from flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, and algae oil. That's where the fish get their omega-3 anyway, from algae that they eat. Ashwagandha. See, ashwagandha is another one of those wonderful Ayurvedic herbs that I talk about because like I say, Ayurveda's got some of the best herbs in the world. Ashwagandha is an adaptogen, and it helps your body adapt to stress, and it takes some of the bad health effects and it kind of lessens them. So some of the studies found that they had participants in a study. They had a significant reduction in anxiety over 60 days of taking a 300 milligram dose of ashwagandha root extract twice daily. They concluded that the herb can safely and effectively help an individual's resistance to stress, improve an individual's resistance to stress. There's also studies showing that ashwagandha users have better quality sleep, which is really, really, really big in anxiety, because if you are in a long-term bout of anxiety, it can mess your sleep cycle completely up. And when you can't sleep, your body doesn't get rest, and so when you wake up, your cortisol hormone is going to be higher, and it's already higher because you have anxiety. But when you don't sleep, lack of sleep makes the cortisol go higher, so you wake up and you might have went to bed feeling okay or anxious, but if you didn't sleep well, you're going to wake up and the first thing that's going to hit you is more anxiety. I used to wake up with high anxiety. It was horrific. And I don't wish it on anybody, and if it's happening, I want to give you some tips on these herbs. Hopefully they help you. Next herb, chamomile, one of my favorite herbs. I love to use chamomile in tea. It's a really good tea to use right maybe an hour or two before bedtime. You can sit, around before your bedtime. Make a cup, sit down in your favorite chair, start to sip it. And within 30 minutes, you're going to start to feel this tea working on you because you're going to start to feel more relaxed. Your muscles might feel a little looser, and you feel like, hey, I'm about ready to go to bed. So what are the findings? During a 5-year study of the long-term effects of chamomile therapy from moderate to severe general anxiety disorder at the University of Pennsylvania, subjects in the treatment group received 500 milligram capsules of chamomile extract 3 times a day. while the control group members were given placebos. The study found that after just 8 weeks, chamomile produced a significant and clinically meaningful tongue tire reduction in general anxiety disorder symptoms. Yes. The next one on the list is passion flower. I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of passion flower, but it kind of looks psychedelic, you know what I mean? It looks like it belongs in a Pink Floyd concert or something. You go look up a picture, Google passion flower images. The flower looks wacky, but it's really good for your stress levels. Passion flower. According to the results of a clinical trial published in the peer-reviewed Journal of Clinical Pharmacology and Therapeutics, in 2001, passion flower extract was just as effective as the anxiety drug oxazepam. I don't know, oxazepam. I don't really pronounce a lot of these drugs because I don't take them, and I don't recommend anybody taking them. Drugs for anxiety and mental disorders, they are very dangerous. I'm not saying not to take them. I'm not saying any of that, but you need to research them because they are horrifically dangerous. So what they found passion flower was just as effective as one of these anxiety drugs. But it had the additional benefit of not causing the impairment of job performance observed in patients taking oxazepam. I think it's... Anyway, in a more recent study in 2017, the anxiety-reducing effects of passion flower were found to be similar to those of midazolam in patients undergoing a tooth extraction procedure, but without the adverse side effects of memory loss. See, that's what I always talk about. Not only do our herbs work really well, but they don't have all these crappy side effects that the pharmaceuticals do. American skullcap. Now, skullcap is another herb. It's got a lot of uses, like all the herbs on the list, but skullcap has a lot of uses, and one of them is for anxiety. One of Dr. Crisler's old teachers, Dr. Shook, one of the old herbal doctors before the war on herbs. Anyway, he said if you took skullcap long enough, it would actually change your DNA from a high-strung person to a calm and relaxed person, which is really interesting. I think we all like to have more DNA of a calm, relaxed person, wouldn't we? 2003 peer-reviewed journal, Alternative Therapies, double-blind study found that American skullcap demonstrated noteworthy anxiety-lowering effects. 2010, the British Journal of Wellbeing. Skullcap is a safe, well-tolerated, effective alternative to pharmaceutical anxiety drugs. Alternatives, people. Alternatives that do not harm you or give you brain damage or make you want to kill yourself. Imagine that. I don't know. I think we all should be looking for safer alternatives. Next on the list is lavender. Lavender is a flower well known for its distinctive purple hue. 2 clinical trials, 2010 and 2014, found that lavender is as effective as lorazepam and paroxetine and SSRI, both drugs used to treat general anxiety disorder. So again, another herb found to be as effective as these pharmaceuticals. Black horehound, another herb. Yes, they found that they did a clinical study, demonstrated a responder rate of 65% after 60 days of treatment in patients with general anxiety disorder, further confirming the anxiety-lowering effects of the herb observed during earlier in vivo experiments with rodents. So it worked on rats, but now they found that it works on people too. Another herb, saffron. Saffron, is a really great herb, It's found to actually help increase muscle strength by, I think, 20%. But I also find it's very good for anxiety. They found that in the anxiety, they did 8 human clinical trials showing improvement in mood with anxiety sufferers improve their mood. See, if you know somebody that has trouble with anxiety, some days you know they will be grouchy. But I can assure you, if you've never suffered from anxiety, you don't understand why these people are grouchy, because people who are in the midst of anxiety, it's a nightmare. Let's just put it that way. It affects every part of their day. It affects everything. It affects even, can I even go to the store today and go get some food to eat? I'm too scared to leave the house, or I'm too scared to go to the store. So yeah, saffron has been found to help the mood. The only problem with saffron is, as far as I have found, is it's pretty expensive. Echinaceas, echinaceas are a great herb for immune function to boost the immune system. But there's a study here showing that it helps with anxiety. I did not know this. For the first time, echinacea has considerable anxiety potential. 2019 study found that echinacea root extract has significant beneficial effects on anxiety in humans. I had no clue. I know that anxiety is really, I know that echinacea is really, really good for poisonous spots from snakes and bees and spiders, and it's really good for flu and all these things and to boost your immune system. But now they're finding it's good for anxiety as well. See, all these herbs have multiple medicinal effects. The next one, valerian, one of my favorites, valerian root. Really good for sleep, and it's really good for anxiety. It's even being used for PTSD in British soldiers during both world wars. Oh, okay. So a Korean study found patients suffering from psychological stress were administered a 100 milligram dose of valerian root 3 times a day. It is known to have a very positive anti-anxiety impact on brain activity. Studies support the use of dry ethanol extracts from valerian for relief of mild nervous tension. Has approved valerian as a remedy in mild anxiety. And that's the way I make it. Most herbs on this list, I make a tincture and I combine them. I combine them together. They didn't mention this in an article, but you can use these together. You can make a formula with these. You can make a formula using valerian, lavender, chamomile, black cohosh, ashwagandha. You know, and I've showed you how to make tinctures before. Anyway, this video's been a lot longer than I wanted it to be, so I'm going to go ahead and shut up. If you like the video, like it and share it. Subscribe to my channel. Check out my page, danthenaturalman.com. And remember, until next time, keep it natural.